Dive into the shadows of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, where secrets abound and mysteries unfold. This geographical area, rich in history and culture, has been a stage for the world's most gripping and heart-wrenching stories. Unraveling the layers of this region, you'll find a myriad of political, religious, and socio-economic factors that fuel the ongoing strife. The Middle East, a mosaic of nations and cultures, has been drenched in the blood of countless conflicts. But none has been as enduring or as controversial as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Amid the chaos, countless players emerge, each with their own agenda and tactics. Yet, one entity stands out, shrouded in a veil of secrecy and intrigue. Today we take a deep dive into the labyrinth of the Middle East, exploring the ambitions, strategies, and ideologies of one of the most cryptic entities in the tumultuous. In the heart of the turmoil, Hamas emerges from obscurity. Who are they really? This organization's elusive nature, as mysterious as a moonless night, has managed to keep it hidden from the public eye. Born amidst chaos and notoriety, it has found its way into the heart of the conflict that is tearing the Middle East apart. It dates back to 1987 when the first Intifada broke out, and its influence has grown ever since. Its operations, shrouded in darkness, are conducted in such a way that its motives and actions remain inscrutable, giving rise to an array of allegations, speculations, and rumors. The global community grapples with a multitude of questions about this enigmatic organization. For instance, what are the true aims of this organization? How much truth is there in the rumors that surround it? As the chaos continues to unravel, these questions remain unanswered, with the organization's true character still hidden under layers of hearsay and conjecture. Even as the world witnesses this ongoing conflict, they continue to operate in the shadows of the turbulence. Rocket attacks. Hamas has been known to launch rockets from the Gaza Strip into Israeli territory. This pattern of aggression is not a new phenomenon. Its roots can be traced back to decades of conflict between the two regions. These actions are not isolated incidents but rather part of a larger, ongoing battle. Often the rockets are launched from populated areas within the Gaza Strip, which complicates the response from Israeli defense forces. Which are usually of a rudimentary design and lack precision, can easily go astray, causing unintended harm. These attacks do not differentiate between military bases or civilian settlements. Their targets are indiscriminate. This characteristic of these attacks makes them all the more tragic, as they put innocent civilians at risk. The aftermath is always heartbreaking. Homes are destroyed, families are torn apart, and peace seems to be an elusive dream. The attacks result in casualties among both Israeli and Palestinian civilians. Use of human shields. This topic has been a topic of global debate for a while now. There have been allegations that a certain group, commonly known as Hamas, has been utilizing civilian-centric infrastructure for their operations. These are not just any run-of-the-mill buildings, but rather, they are critical establishments such as educational institutions and health centers. To be specific, we are talking about schools where children spend most of their day learning and shaping their future, and hospitals, where countless lives are saved every day. This alleged strategy is more than just a mere violation of human rights. By using these structures as protective shells for their fighters and conduits for their weapons, they are directly putting the innocent lives of Palestinian civilians at an unnecessary and horrifying risk. This is a pressing concern that needs immediate attention as it continues to raise serious questions about the safety of civilians in conflict zones. Palestinian civilians who are already living under the shadow of conflict find themselves trapped in a situation with gravely immediate threats to their safety. This concern is not just an isolated issue, it is a grim representation of the larger picture of the conflict in the Middle East, where the lines between combatants and non-combatants blur, and the sanctity of civilian life is disregarded. Let's circle back to the core issue. Hamas has been accused of adopting such inhuman tactics, using civilian infrastructure to shield its fighters and weapons, thus putting Palestinian civilians at risk. Kidnappings and executions. Reports have emerged of Hamas kidnapping and executing individuals accused of collaborating with Israel or other alleged offenses. This horrifying reality is not a new phenomenon, but rather a continuation of a long-standing issue that has been plaguing the region for years. We begin to unravel the truth behind these reports, each one more chilling than the last, painting a haunting picture of the ongoing conflict. The accusations against these individuals are often unproven, yet they are treated as indisputable facts. Often these alleged collaborators are seized off the streets, their futures suddenly snuffed out in an instant. The justice system, if it can even be called that, seems to have no interest in due process or fair trials. The executions are swift and brutal, a stark reminder of the dehumanizing effects of war and conflict. The families of these unfortunate victims are left to grapple with the abrupt loss of their loved ones. They are given no closure, no chance to say their final goodbyes, only silence and a hollow sense of longing. The impact of such actions is far-reaching, tearing communities apart and feeding into a cycle of fear and mistrust. Ultimately, these heinous acts do not help in resolving the conflict, but only contribute to its escalation. Reports have emerged of Hamas kidnapping and executing individuals accused of collaborating with Israel or other alleged offenses. These actions have severe consequences, both immediate and long-lasting, on the individuals involved and the society as a whole. Each report is a grim reminder of the atrocities carried out in the name of war, begging us to question the true cost of these conflicts. Internal repression. Critics have accused Hamas of suppressing political dissent and freedom of speech in Gaza, where it holds power. This suppression is seen in a multitude of ways, such as through the stifling of protesters, the intimidation of journalists, and the shutting down of opposing news outlets. It is not an exaggeration to say that freedom of speech is severely curtailed in this region under the rule of Hamas. Individuals living in Gaza are often afraid to voice their opinions, fearing retaliation from Hamas. The threat of imprisonment or even death looms over those who dare to defy the ruling power. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression, universally recognized as basic human rights, are essentially non-existent here. This is a direct violation of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The world watches as the cries for freedom are silenced, and dissent is crushed under the weight of tyranny. Yet Hamas continues its oppressive rule, undeterred by the international outcry. This is a tragic reality of Gaza, where it holds power. Violation of human rights. Various human rights organizations have persistently engaged in documenting instances of human rights abuses in territories where Hamas has established control. These organizations, often composed of courageous individuals, strive tirelessly to shed light on the grim reality of the situation. They delve into the depth of the crisis, uncovering a multitude of transgressions that continue to occur beneath the world's gaze. The catalog of these atrocities includes, but is not limited to, severe limitations on freedom of expression. This means that individuals in these regions are often silenced, their voices drowned out by an oppressive regime. The right to association, a fundamental cornerstone of any democratic society, is also under continuous attack. Citizens are frequently denied the opportunity to assemble and express their shared views, further stifling their collective voice. Lastly, the treatment meted out to detainees is alarming. Stories of systematic mistreatment and abuse are rampant, painting a bleak picture of the conditions that these individuals have to endure. While these observations provide a glimpse into the harsh reality of the situation, countless other abuses remain overlooked and undocumented. The world must turn its attention to these grave concerns, for they are not isolated incidents, but an ongoing crisis. As we venture further into the abyss, we descend into a world of competing ideologies and stark contradictions. Here, the subject of our focus is none other than the complex group referred to as Hamas. This organization, shrouded in mystery and controversy, draws starkly contrasting reactions from different segments of society. To some, Hamas is viewed as the embodiment of resistance, standing defiant in the face of oppression. They hail them as enigmatic freedom fighters, staunchly defending their land, people, and beliefs. Their narrative paints a picture of heroic struggle against overwhelming odds. This view is often shared by the dispossessed, and those who have suffered under the weight of injustice. Yet on the other side of the coin, different voices rise in condemnation. There are those who decry the methods employed by Hamas as inhumane, a stark violation of the principles of humanity. They argue that the end does not justify the means, and insist on the sanctity of all human life. This belief is held strongly by many who value peace over aggression, and diplomacy over conflict. This dichotomy of opinions embodies the complexity of the situation we're delving into, while others condemn their methods as inhumane. In the midst of this enigma, the price paid by civilians is often overlooked. Amid the chaos, the unheard cries, and the echoing gunfire, we lose sight of the most human aspect of this conflict, the impact on non-combatants. They are often the ones who suffer the most. Their homes become battlegrounds, their peaceful lives transform into daily survival struggles. Children are robbed of their innocence, their laughter by the deafening sounds of bombs and bullets. Women and men, who once lived normal lives, now live in constant fear and anxiety. The elderly, with their life's wisdom, bear witness to scenes they never thought they would see in their twilight years. Everyone, from infants to the aged, from the strong to the vulnerable, has become part of this cruel game of power. They are the unseen victims, the silent scream in the storm of conflict. Innocent lives, including the most vulnerable, have become collateral damage in this complex puzzle. But in the darkest of times there is a glimmer of hope, a beam of light in the pitch-black tunnel of despair, a shimmering beacon that refuses to be consumed by the overwhelming darkness. It is the embodiment of resilience, a symbol of an unrelenting fight against the odds. This beacon is fostered organizations and dedicated individuals who have made it their life's mission to combat this darkness. Day in and day out, they toil relentlessly in pursuit of this noble goal. They are the torchbearers in this abysmal darkness, always intending to illuminate the obscure corners that have been cloaked in the shadow of hardship. Their indefatigable dedication and ceaseless efforts aimed at unearthing the truth and promoting transparency are what drive them to keep pushing forward. These organizations' individuals are the architects of change, meticulously laying down the bricks to pave a path towards a future unmarred by conflict, a path that leads to peace. As keepers of knowledge, we bear a solemn responsibility to shine a light on these obscured truths. This task is not light, it is a duty that we carry with pride and dedication, a calling that resonates deeply within us. We are the custodians of history, the guardians of the past. We sift through the sands of time, uncovering stories long forgotten, truths hidden beneath layers of misunderstanding and ignorance. We decipher the unknown, making sense of the inscrutable, piecing together the puzzles of the past. Yet as we delve into the annals of history, it's crucial to remember our purpose. Our quest not merely for answers, it's a voyage into the heart of humanity itself. It's a journey of discovery, an exploration that seeks to understand the complexities of human nature, the multitude of cultures and civilizations that have shaped our world. The significance of our role isn't just in the uncovering of facts, but in the illumination of perspectives, the fostering of empathy and understanding. These aren't just guiding stars, they are the very essence of our endeavor. In this pursuit of knowledge, let's remember that empathy and understanding are our guiding stars. Thank you for joining us on this compelling expedition into the intriguing maze of Hamas's dealings in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This journey has been both perplexing and enlightening, a dive into the depths of a political and ideological labyrinth that seems to be twisted with multiple layers of complexity. The actions and decisions of Hamas over the years have shaped the course of this conflict in myriad. We've tried to unravel some of this enigma, to sift through the intricacies and comprehend the big picture. But remember, every story has numerous facets and every action a consequence. If you've managed to gain some today, to add a piece to your puzzle of understanding, we implore you to spread knowledge, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The world is a complex place and the pursuit of understanding never ceases. Let us know down below in the comments what you think of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We're curious about your perspectives and insights on this complex issue. The situation in the Middle East has been a source of global tension for many years, and your opinion matters to us. We want to create a space where everyone can freely express their thoughts and engage in meaningful discussions. Perhaps you could share your viewpoints on how this conflict has shaped international politics or influenced your own personal ideologies, or maybe you have a unique solution to propose. Whatever your thoughts may be, we hope you feel comfortable enough to share because every perspective contributes to a broader understanding of the issue. You may be wondering why we're asking for your input. It's simple. We believe that every voice matters and we want to foster an environment that encourages dialogue. It's through these conversations that we can all learn, grow, and potentially contribute to a peaceful and sustainable resolution. Remember, it's not about right or wrong, or who's to blame. It's about listening, understanding, and respecting different perspectives. So don't hesitate. Chime in and let's start a conversation that could potentially lead to a better understanding of the world we live in. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories.